And then after I had all my stuff packed up at the hotel, I checked out of the hotel. It was probably around 8 or so. And drove down the road. There was either a Walgreens or a CVS pharmacy right across from a bank and the Home Depot there where their car was parked. I left my rental car there in that pharmacy parking lot and walked across the street. And didn't really have a disguise on at that point. I think that's why they got that description of somebody with long hair driving the car, because I think all I had on was my gloves and sunglasses, and drove their car up north, and only made it about halfway, and then I started just like a whole bunch of things. I realized that their car had issues, and I think it was also almost out of gas, and I was still really amped. I didn't really trust myself to rob a bank because I hadn't slept all night and I was kind of shaky, and so I decided to scratch that. I was thinking I would just park the car. I was going to torch the car. There was an area back down where I buried the guns from before in Vermont, and I was going to drive their car down there and torch it after the bank robberies, but then for some reason I was thinking I could still use the car. I was going to go up to Maine and chill out for a few days and then come back through Vermont, and I was thinking if the car was still there, then I would take the car and maybe still do some bank robberies with it and then torch it, but yeah, I wasn't. By the time I got back, of course, the police had already found it. So that was pretty much it. I went up to Maine, had their cell phones with me. There was people calling them, and I had their card information and stuff. But
how do you know there were people calling them?
Oh, the phones were turned on. Their phones were on. It was their work calling them. I remember I looked through, so only one of the cell phones was working, and at least if what they told me was true, they said the other one was like emergency calls only or something. The plan was expired, but there was one cell phone they had that was working. It seems like it wasn't a very good one, and it seems like it didn't have text messaging. And so when their work started calling, because it was a work day, I think it was either a Thursday or a Friday or something, I thought about answering the phone and telling the person what was going on, that it was a kidnapping, and that they're, like give them the account information. But then I just decided I didn't want to talk to anybody on the phone. If their phone had text messaging, I probably would have done it, but it seems like they didn't. So I drove, started heading up to Maine. I think I was on the interstate, and I was at a rest area somewhere, and then I realized I should probably turn the phones off. Because the one phone I had in the front with me, I had forgot about the other phone I had in the back of the car in the suitcase, the one that wasn't supposedly working. But the one I had with me, it rang a few times on the drive, and I finally just took the battery out of it. But the other one, it didn't occur to me that it might still be able to track where it was picking up service or whatever, so I didn't think of that till I got to Maine. I drove straight through. I think I was up for about 30 hours on that one, because I hadn't slept all the night before, obviously. But I think I got to Maine, I was pretty tired, and then it dawned on me that other phone was still on, so I parked alongside the road somewhere in Maine and was digging through the suitcases and found it and took the battery out of that one too, and then drove the rest of the way up to Maine. I think my brothers knew I'd had a rough night or something, because I was pretty out of it by the time I got up there. I don't really even remember what I did when I got to Maine. I think I just hung out with my brother who lived in Bangor and maybe crashed on his couch.